are saying this morning across Nigeria. Very interesting topics, I must say. We have social commentator Smart Akwejoye with me in the studio, as well as another public affairs analyst and chartered accountant, Sheson Okwade. Gentlemen, good morning.
Morning,
good morning, Mike.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yes.
All right, let's get into the headlines now, see what the papers are saying. Let's begin with the Daily Times. Tinubu to Buhari, it's time to work harder for Nigerians. That's what Daily Times is saying, and has some breakdowns there. Urges president to work out a model that is homegrown, peculiar to meeting economic needs of Nigerians. Says hiking VAT will reduce purchasing power of Nigerian consumers and increase hardship. Okay, we've been following the colloquium that took place yesterday. All right, from the Daily Times, let's move now to Daily Trust. PDP's Fintiri emerges. Adamawa governor-elect beats Governor Bindo with 40,166 votes. That was developments from Adamawa State yesterday, and the indigenes there have spoken. Moving ahead now, okay, I have the blueprint. Yeah, the blueprint. Also, let's have the blueprint and see what the blueprint is saying this morning. If my producers can put that as well, let us see what the blueprint is saying. Okay. All right, before the blueprint, let's move ahead now. Daily Sun. Tinubu to federal government, don't hike VAT. It'll increase hardship, he says. That's still from messages from the colloquium. And let's move to the Punch newspaper now. Mixed reactions as Tinubu urges federal government to revisit power sector privatization. APC chief warns government against raising VAT as a value-added tax. From the Punch, let's move to the Vanguard. Tinubu to Buhari, give Nigerians better life in your next term. And some multiple riders there to break it down further. Once privatization revisited, once government tax increment, or once against tax increment, unjustified electricity charges, integrity deficient leadership caused Nigeria's woes. Shibajo was explaining that as part of his speech at the colloquium. From the Vanguard, let's move to the Business Day. Business Day is our last paper this morning. In Ajegunle, gentrification frenzy tells of what to come for Lagos. Okay, Ajegunle remains part of concern for lots of people in Lagos, but certainly things are changing. All right, let's move. Gentlemen, yesterday there was so much said from leaders at the colloquium yesterday of Bola Tinubu, the leader of the APC. There was no way one could ignore that, because a lot of people said a lot of things, and those were the national issues right now, burning issues one way or the other. One of the messages there was the issue of value-added tax, which has formed part of the debate. I'd like to start with you, Sheson, on this. Tinubu has been is advising government not to raise the value-added tax.
Yeah, Asiwaju is lending and voice, but we heard during the week that the FIRS chairman came out point blank and said he was misconstrued of the increase of VAT, that rather than them increasing that, they will widen the net, which was a suggestion of Asiwaju yesterday. Because if you are increasing the VAT at this level, what you'll be doing is to be creating more hardship. Because just few people that are faithful in doing this, and you are telling those guys who are doing it that they don't know what they are doing. And the next thing is for people to look for alternatives.
How successful would you say the tax amnesty has been?
Yeah, it gives room for people to actually grow in, and that is why we saw the jump in what they had last year from 4-point-something trillion to about 5.3 trillion.
Exactly.
So the amnesty actually give room for people to actually come in. That was the same thing they did while he was in LIRS to increase the leap. So the amnesty is okay, and I'm sure for real, the president won't be considering anything like
All right.
that.
Smart. One other issue was the issue of revisiting the privatization policy in the power sector, which a lot of Nigerians have not been satisfied with from the start.
First, I've always been a student of privatization. I've always said, look, government has no business going into business in the first place. What government should just do is to create an enabling environment for business to thrive. Having said this, is first, when you look at the contractual agreement between the disco and the government, it makes it irrevocable. At first, I would have advised that, look, these people that are currently running the electricity, the energy sector of this country, perhaps they are novice, they don't know what they are doing. That contract should be revoked. But because there is this irrevocable clause that has been tied to international arbitration, it will be impossible and it will be trouble having to do that. But going forward, it is renewable. I think we are in their renewable year. Yeah. It should not. I think most of those people.
And a lot of people are saying if their contract should
not be renewed. Honestly, because when you look at it, even if the government was still handling it, perhaps it could have even been better than NEPA were doing better than all these discos and Gencos. So, but however, let us try this time that if we are going to give it to private hands, let's see their CV. Who are their technical partners? What competence does their technical partner have? So at least when we look at
what pedigree?
Yeah, and we look at the pedigree of the technical, because basically it is the technical partners that we look at, because they are going to drive the technical aspects of it. So that is very, very. Look, if we are privatizing, let us privatize right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because when you look at most of the companies privatized between 1989, when Babangida introduced Decree 27 that gave birth to NCP, you will see that this government of you see that privatization has really helped us. But perhaps not to, because if you're going to talk about privatization, it's going to take a whole 1 hour.
Exactly. Sheson, you want to say something on that?
You see, on this aspect of the technical partners, the current owners of this discourse actually source for technical partners who have, but they don't understand the nature of this nation. You see some of them where we have best electricity service provider coming here failing because there are other nitty-gritty they need to understand.
Is it the Nigerian factor?
It will always be, not the other aspect where we always think of. Considering the network, you see cobwebs here and there. The kind of infrastructure they need to put in place to make their work come out, they don't really have it. And you know, we don't have the right mindset as individual. An average Nigerian want to cut shots in everything they want to do. They don't even want to pay for the electricity.
Is it a Nigerian thing with the mindset thing? Is it just really Nigerian?
The fact is, and if you sample the opinion of people, it's only the elites that will tell you, I want meter, I want this. Okay. Go to the intent of those areas. They are just bypassing things, and
no, it's because perhaps they are not properly they're not properly tutored. You see, I keep saying, look, if you are introducing any policy, bring in sensitization. Let the people know the advantage in what you are going to do.
Yeah, but because from what Sheson is saying, because if you go to so many African countries, some of the consultants they have for their economy and politics and social and anything, many of them are Nigerians. We see what Nigerians have done in Gambia. In fact, up till now, I think the head of judiciary in Gambia is a Nigerian. The head of police in Liberia is a Nigerian, and all of that. And they've been doing so well.
You see, like I said earlier on, I said there are no sensitization. You see, so many people thought that even giving them meter perhaps could even worsen their case. When you go to Cotonou, you see that you walk a whole stretch of road, perhaps there is no light. You'll be asking, is there no light in the whole of this area? But when you go in, you see that there is light. They will say because they are trying to reduce their bill. Money. That is why they are not putting all this light on. We are very, very wasteful.
Wasteful,
when at about 2 o'clock, you will see street lights in some
and even some security lights in the home.
And you even see security lights at about 2.
We have to leave you here now. Smart Akwejoye, thank you so much for coming. And Sheson Kwande, thank you very much as well. Thank you. Right. You're watching TVC Breakfast and we're streaming live on YouTube. You can connect with us on Twitter using the hashtag TVC Breakfast.